First tonight, with rapid growth comes a rapid demand for housing. A new report says home sales in this area increased more than 14% over the last year, the complete opposite of the national trend. 5 News reporter Lauren Spencer has been digging into the new data. She's here in the studio now with how leaders are reacting to these numbers. Pretty impressive, Lauren.
Yeah, the Skyline Report comes out twice a year. It's a way to look at real estate trends in Northwest Arkansas, and things are trending upwards big time. The report says the region's real estate market is trending the opposite of the national market. Despite higher interest rates, strong population growth continues to drive sales.
You would expect to see declining home sales as a result of higher mortgage rates, and that has been true broadly, except that we still have strong population growth in Northwest Arkansas.
A 14.2 increase in home sales and more than 5,000 homes sold. 38% of those were new construction. The average price of a home in Benton County is almost $450,000, while in Washington County, it's about $402,000. But there's still some issues with supply, says Mervyn Jebrarj, director for the Center of Business and Economic Research at the U of A.
What you have here in Northwest Arkansas is some pullback in construction because mortgage rates are higher.
He says people are moving to wherever they can find available housing, big city or small, but some smaller communities are running into more issues.
They can't generate as much housing construction and new homes as we've seen in previous years because they're running into water and sewer capacity issues.
None of my clients are local. None of my sellers are originally from here. None of my buyers are people just moving about inside town.
Realtor Stephanie Funk says the 14% increase far exceeds the national average of about 6%.
That's a lot of movement, and it should give all those people who are kind of moving here going, oh, I don't know, a lot of comfort that we're still moving up quite a bit.
She emphasized the need to keep up with that momentum.
I don't know how long the runway is, but I can't see a change in the next 5 years. I mean, I think it just continues to grow. And so the challenge then is on our city leaders to do what they need to do from an infrastructure play to make sure that we can build.
The data says this was the third highest amount of home sales since the report started back in 2004 and the highest amount of new construction homes. Lauren Spencer, 5 News.
Live Doppler radar, it is all clear at the moment. However, shortly after midnight, I do expect it's going to start to light up with a few spotty to scattered showers out there. This is around 1:30 in the morning. Most of the activity that's expected to develop probably going to fall in the River Valley, points off towards the south. It's not going to be much, but certainly a few spotty showers. Most of that is out of the area by the time the sun rises. Clouds break tomorrow morning. Lots of sunshine out there. Overall, tomorrow's actually going to end up being a pretty decent day. Overnight lows down into the upper 40s, low 50s. Yet again, it's one of those days that it's going to be tough to dress. It's cool in the morning, but gosh, by lunchtime, it feels great out there. We'll open up those windows, let some fresh air in the house. Lots of sunshine, climbing up to about 78 degrees. You may have some of those air conditioners kick on tomorrow afternoon. In the River Valley, maybe a couple of more clouds lingering. Still, though, abundant sunshine out there. Low 80s. Gosh, it's going to feel nice. We do have some nice weather in store for the next couple of days, but what we're tracking for you is some late week rain chances, maybe a thunderstorm chance or two. I'm not overall impressed at this point, but I do want to bring you up to speed with some of the changes in the forecast. We'll do just that here in just a few minutes.
All right, Scott, thanks. New tonight, a Fayetteville woman who pled guilty in connection to an overdose death last year now knows how long she's going to spend behind bars. Christy Kaywood will spend 39 years in prison for the death of Cody Fizzell. She pled guilty to a long list of charges, including aggravated death by delivery. Prosecutors say Kaywood was the one who sold fentanyl to Fizzell. Prosecutors say they were able to figure that out after accessing text messages between the two. She was arrested and drugs were found where she lived with her 2 children. Kaywood was released on bond and found with fentanyl again later that year, leading to a second arrest. We're also learning a man who was convicted for charges related to the death of a Pea Ridge police officer, Kevin Apple, now pleading not guilty in a separate case. Elijah Andazola was arrested again last month after police say he broke into a Rogers home and allegedly assaulted his pregnant wife. He's facing multiple charges, including aggravated residential burglary and third-degree assault. Andazola, who was previously accused of being an accomplice to capital murder alongside his co-defendant, Shauna Cash, ended up pleading guilty to amended charges. Court records show Benton County prosecutors reopened the case against him and then filed a petition to revoke his probation. He is expected back in court sometime next month. Arkansas Attorney General Tim Griffin striking down a proposed ballot title that would reform the state's rules over voter initiatives. That ballot title, proposed by the League of Women Voters, would have simplified the signature collection process when it comes to ballot initiatives and would introduce new rules for referendums and emergency clauses. Attorney General says the proposed name and ballot title of the proposal is too vague, saying these ambiguities prevent me from ensuring that your ballot title is not misleading or substituting a more appropriate ballot title. League of Women Voters says it's disappointed by the decision, but plan to resubmit the proposal to Griffin, saying our dedication to preserving and enhancing direct democracy in Arkansas remains unwavering. Tonight, the Trump administration downplaying a group text chat on a commercially available messaging app where sensitive military information was accidentally shared with a journalist. As Erica Brown reports, top Democrats demanding accountability for this security breach.
On Fox News Tuesday night, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz called the security breach where sensitive military plans were disclosed on the messaging app Signal embarrassing.
I take responsibility. I built the group.
Waltz says Jeffrey Goldberg, editor-in-chief of The Atlantic, was inadvertently added to the group chat.
I'm sure everybody out there has had a contact where it was said one person and then a different phone number.
Top Democrats are demanding Waltz and Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth resign over the leak.
After 25 years in the Navy, flying off of ships and as a test pilot, if you were sharing classified information in this manner, you would be fired.
President Trump is standing by his national security team.
Our national security now is stronger than it's ever been. There was no classified information, as I understand it.
CBS News has learned in February the National Security Agency warned the Signal app had vulnerabilities and that Russian hackers had tried to access encrypted messages on the platform. The Democrats on the House Oversight Committee say they're launching an investigation into the security breach and requested Trump administration officials preserve all records related to the leak, including the group chat. The president also signed an executive order Tuesday requiring proof of citizenship to vote in federal elections.
And it's an honor to sign this one.
Legal experts say the sweeping order is expected to be challenged in court. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Mike Huckabee back on Capitol Hill today for his confirmation hearing to be the president's U.S. ambassador to Israel.
The terrorist group Hamas launched an attack October the 7th of 2023 against innocent civilians, including pregnant women, elderly people, and even tiny and helpless babies. That war still continues. And for that reason, I respectfully ask your thoughtful consideration for confirmation to become our nation's ambassador to the state of Israel. Thank you.
If the former Arkansas governor is confirmed by the Senate, his posting will be likely complicate an already unstable situation in the Middle East, as he has taken stances that contradict long-standing U.S. policy. Several protesters interrupted Huckabee's speech today and were removed by Capitol Police. The Oklahoma Department of Health reporting a rise in measles cases. Today, the state says it has found 7 cases of the disease among unvaccinated people in northeast Oklahoma. They say all cases are linked through exposures to their household or extended family. Found no additional public setting exposures. Comes as Texas deals with its own outbreak. There are now more than 32 cases in the western part of that state. Symptoms of measles include high fever, a runny nose, red watery eyes, a cough, a rash, and can be highly contagious and dangerous for the unvaccinated. There have been no confirmed cases in Arkansas. Well, tonight, all new at 10, we are getting an exclusive look at what the new Ozark United Soccer Stadium in Rogers is going to look like. Comes with so much more than just a soccer stadium. It's a story you'll only see on 5 News.
How the stadium interacts with development then allows for long-term success to the stadium and allows us to create moments where fans can actually have a better experience.
Ozark United co-founder Warren Smith says the stadium will be located just south of the Pinnacle Hill Shopping Center near the intersection of Bellevue and Perry Roads. This is what that whole complex is going to look like, from the stadium itself to restaurants, retail space, and luxury apartments.
Everyone in our league and Major League Sports and everyone else is trying to actually create these sense of place because it leads to, the growth factor that you're asking about.
Smith says the complex will be so much more than just hosting soccer games a few months out of the year.
We expect to do, 3 or 4 concerts. These are going to be bigger than what can fit in the amphitheater. So 17,000 type concerts, festivals, high school football, high school soccer. I'm working with Major League Rugby in another market. They've expressed interest in this market. So I think you'll find it'll be, once you have a facility, you kind of ways to use it becomes creative.
He also says they have no doubt this will lead to other development in that area.
Anytime you bring more eyes to something, you get more attention for that something, right? And then the more eyes that we bring and the more that we can actually get people to come and let them have fun, the more the value of that real estate goes and the more the value around it goes.
Right now, the idea is to have all this done in time for the 2027 soccer season, but
I would say I'm more comfortable with 2028, but we're going to do everything we can to make 2027 happen.
Smith says the team is still asking for your input on a variety of issues. In fact, he says a small questionnaire can be found on the team's website.